Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a fairly balanced rack. Figia. Don't know if that's good. Doesn't play anyway. Fagia. Figia. That should work, but is there a bingo? Phrygia. Frigid. Frigider. Yeah, that works. Frigider. Yeah. So I draw a fairly balanced rack here. And I don't see a 7. But I'm wondering if there might be an 8. Not quite debonair, but beloined, no. Besoined, no. Opponent bingos for a 4-timer, scoring 90 points. Almost Bedsonia, but I'd need the E to be an A. D bones plus an I. Now, I have IES or ISE. Ebonized, yeah, that'll work. Ebonized, I'm 1 square too high up. Ebonized, 74. I draw the J and the Q. One way to get rid of the Q would be through an A, canat, but there's no A floating out there. I have cat on the rack, and I have opponents played hotly for 33. I have cat and TE, but leaving the Q next to a double word square hardly seems smart. I have trank for 36. That seems okay. Admittedly, opponent could play underneath for a mozza if he has the right combination of tiles. Now, I have Hudge and a maze. Any Z hotspots? I have... Oh, pity I don't have a D for Zeta. And I don't have another E for G's. That would be nice. I need an N for Zine. Z-E-I-N. Opponent recognizes the hotspot, I think, and plays there. Now Hudge plays quite nicely here, so 44's not to be sneezed at, and it takes out a hotspot. I don't have an I for playing under the Q, so this will have to do. I have Zoiel and I have Zoea for 50, giving back some score to opponent. Is there a safer Z spot? Zol is good. Not a great rack leave, not a terrible one either. 32 points seems decent. That spot's taken. Now the Z does still play here, but no. Well, Moz is good. So Moz for 41. Just want to have a closer look at this rack. See that there's definitely no bingo. Now, is there a 6-letter play? Amaze doesn't quite reach. Is this crazy? Zoe, 50 points. Wow. Opponent's going to get at least 45. Or 39. Do I go for this? That's 50. And Moz, which is a lot safer, is 41. I think I'll go with the safer one. Okay, I've a little bit of a vowel heavy rack now, which is partly my own doing, leaving 3 vowels and a consonant after Moz. I have the ATE ending. Opalate. Epilate. The Y looks quite handy. I still don't have an I. Okay, now opponents opened access to this triple word square, and I'm just looking if I can get my P here. Alapa, if I had another A. No, I'm not seeing a 6 there. Oh, leapt. That's not bad. 32, not a great rack leave. Is there something better? What about pole 26? Not a great rack leave. Anything through the M? Palmate. Is that pal? No, pal. Petalum. I think I'm just going to go with leapt. It scores well. Okay, vowel heavy, but it was to be expected, I think. I have Omar. Opponent has exchanged. Is this crazy? It's a great rack leave, 12 points. I could play. I've got the L for Loma. It takes a D as well, Doma. So I might actually play this, even if opponent bingos. Not a good pickup, if the truth be known. I do have a scoring tile in the K, but LOSE was a pretty decent leave, and unfortunately the rack has regressed in terms of bingo prospects. Cool is good, so that's 35 points, and UNS not a bad leave. Anything ending in LP? Kelp. I don't think scalp is good. Scalp. Yeah, it is. Scalp, front hook for kelp. Yeah, thought it sounded familiar. Now, the rack leave is shocking with a capital S. And yeah, okay, that was unfortunate because it's given opponent a bingo there in the top left. Now, I can't see a play that would be better than changing here. Looking at something through the G. No, not seeing it. I'll keep AN. Hopefully I won't duplicate those tiles. Okay. Engraved from an E. I do not see an E available because this is not in the right spot. Engrave. Just looking at underlaps here. Darn. £30, not bad. Can I get my V to play here? 6-letter ending in E, that'd score well. Just can't see it. I know there's an underlap here, but I'm just not seeing it. I might just go with Dawn to stop my opponent taking that spot. Covering through an N, that's not going to happen. Board tightening up a fair bit now. Have the over prefix. Davia. 33. Not a bad score. Divorce. 42. Opponent plays null at the top there. The X is gone, so I wasn't worried about that. Now, will opponent bingo? There's 4 in the bag. And... okay, what can I do with... Jai? no.234, nice play by opponent. Do I have a... divorcee is good. What about... Aegis 23. Where are the good S hotspots? Tranks and nothing. Is there a E play? Just looking at... I might just do Aegis, and then can I go out with a... Egos. No. Vigia. Opponent's definitely not going out with BIRTW. And then Vigia, and then divorces. Oh no, I don't have EOS. Nah, I didn't think that one through. OES and DO. Yeah, that seems okay. And that's the end of the game. So 460 to 475. Just thank my opponent for the game. Let's see what we missed here. So let's go back to the beginning. And opponent opened with girl. I had Frigida. That was the only bingo there. And opponent had a number of different bingos there. Went with Twinters for 90. Ebonized for 74 was the only bingo. Then Hotly for 33, but Lathy for 46 at M3. Lathy and Buy, that's very nice. 46. Opponent still scored well with Hotly for 33. Now Trank for 36 was best. Zhu for 56. XU. Opponent might have overlooked that one. And Vordu. That's quite nice, getting rid of all that junk. Opponent went with Vex. Now Hamza onto the H. That's also nice. Hamza for 61. Who would have thought that would score 61? Hamza. Oh, because the ZE and then it all gets doubled. Hamza. Very nice. I went with the second best score, 44 for Hudge, and it took out a hotspot, so I was quite happy with that. Now, opponent did not have a bingo here, but Doty for 30 appears best. And then Zoe I did identify, but I just felt it gave back at least 40 up to 60 points if opponent had the right tiles, so I did not want to play Zoe. And I was just thinking opponent almost had, I was thinking Zoesium, but not quite. Wow, as it happens, I don't know if he would have had a play. Wow. Anyway, I just felt it was too volatile. Now, leukemia for 78, leukemia through the M or the L. So there's the M and leukemia from this L. So that was quite nice. Another one of those 5-vowel 8s that just crop up time and time again. And leukemia can be spelt with a K as well as a C. Opponent missed that bingo and went with Zeta and E. And now Talpay. That was the top play, getting the P doubled and the whole word tripled. I went with Lept for 32. 15A was actually here in the bottom left. Talpay getting the P doubled. Or Talpa at 01. Yeah, I went with Lept. Not a good rack leave, but a decent score. Weiss for 34. Opponent went with an exchange. Now, Loma for 16, but I thought I would play Omar, which left it a really decent 4-letter set of L-O-S-E. You can't lose with lose. But I had the hook for Omar as well, and that's another reason I thought that would be handy. If opponent didn't take the spot, then I had the L hook. But as it happens, my pickup was pretty undesirable, as you'll see on the following rack. This was opponent's one. He went with nothing great on offer there, but he went with Pi. Now, Olk for 26 with a fantastic 3-letter set. 3F. Olk there, but leaving the O below a triple, and if opponent played a 5-letter play ending in a W or an M, yeah, I don't know if it was that dangerous, but Olk was a good play, but Scalp scored very nicely, 44 points, and that gave me a good lead. But it also gave opponent bingo. So safeties for 83, and now he's just a small bingo behind, and I'm on a dreadful rack. So amazing how it can swing from being 110 ahead to this scenario. Now opponent had Menace for 32. That's a decent score. He went with May, and I needed an E for engraved, but I just did not have one in the right spot, and as you can see, no bingos. Vag for 33 at 3A. Okay, that's not bad actually. Vag, veg, few different ones. I went with Dawn for 30. Now, opponent had Noun for 16, and pretty miserly scores there, as you can see. Divorce for 42 was best from this rack, and that gave me a solid 100-point lead. Now, opponent had Bunko or no.234. He got the highest scoring play down, and then it was just end game formalities. Egos I did spot, but I didn't see outplay for AII. Yeah, maybe that's I think that's why I didn't go for that one. Vigia, I had a guaranteed outplay after Vigia. Now opponent spotted Webb for 23 and O's for 21 at K13 up top. No, the bottom. Of course, Tranks and OSE. That's remiss. Anyway, I'll put that down to fatigue. It is pretty late here now, so I'm a little fatigued. And that was the end of the game. So, couple of misses, but generally a pretty good game. And interestingly enough, this board shows all the triple word squares used bar one. That's quite rare. I often notice there's at least 2 or 3 that haven't been used, but yeah, we almost got to all 8 of them. So, pretty good game. Hope you enjoyed watching that one, and I will see you next time.